Okay, so let's begin by just dropping into this new posture that we're in, this standing posture. And so tuning into the feeling of the feet on the ground. Noticing perhaps the texture of the ground underneath. Is it rough or smooth or warm or cool? If you're wearing shoes, then it might be the sensations of the bottoms of your shoes that you're connecting to. And letting the posture be one of uprightness, so a sense of your height rising, and allowing gravity to do its job on the body too. So letting the shoulders be untensed. And from the soles of the feet, now opening up to the experience of the whole body. Just this body breathing, maybe the contact with the air on the skin, the texture of clothing, the rhythms of the body within. Just attune to this moment in this body. Knowing that we can come back again and again to this body anchor. And the body is also a radar in the sense that it provides us with information about what's going on, what's actually going on, rather than what we maybe think is going on, because our bodies are always in the present moment, because they are always in sensory connection with this world. And so in this practice, we're going to explore moving, because much of the day we are moving. So it can be helpful to practice this moving mindfully. And if there's any of the movements that I'm offering to you, that your body says to you, this isn't what my body needs at the moment. Perhaps there's a strong sensation of pain, or you just receive the information from your body that it's not right for you at the moment. Feel free to miss a movement out, to adapt a movement, or to imagine making the movement in your mind's eye. So looking after the body. At the same time, there might be movements that your body can approach by leaning into the edge of them. So listening to your body is the arbiter of what is workable and not, and playing, experimenting. So staying safe and being adventurous, finding that balance as you play. So beginning the movement by just rocking forwards onto the front of your feet, maybe the balls of the feet just coming off the ground, and then gently rocking back. So coming forward onto the toes and slowly rocking back onto the heels. And just playing with this movement and seeing if we can bring awareness to the experience of the feet in this movement. The changing of pressure. Perhaps different textures being felt. And perhaps through the wider body also, some resonance of this movement in the legs, in the arms. Now there may also be thoughts coming up. like, why are we doing this? Or when are we going to move on to another movement? Or what am I going to have to eat when the class is finished? All sorts of possibilities, of course. And this is normal. And the invitation is just to let those thoughts be in the background. And when you notice that the mind has been drawn away to thinking, just to come back to the body in movement, to re-embody. Literally, the word remember means come back to embodiment. Remember. And so coming to stand still once again, and just notice any after effects of making this movement. Staying present. And now, seeing if we can make a similar movement, only this time going from the left to the right. So just swaying the body like a pendulum onto the sides of the feet. So going over to one side and then to the other side. So the feet staying in contact with the ground, just shifting the body weight. And you can have a play with this. If it feels like your body wants to be a little more adventurous, you can go a little further, leaning into the edge of the movement. Or if your body says, actually, I need to be, my body needs a smaller shift, a smaller sway, then listening to that. And so you can adjust according to the feedback from your body in each moment. And being interested in what this is actually feeling like. And now seeing about bringing the arms into this movement. So just letting the arms come into a swing as the weight shifts from one foot to the other. And again, we can play with this. So we can make the swing a bigger swing if your body says it would be okay to be a little more energetic. And just noticing how this shifts the experience. Maybe there's a bigger sensation of contact with the back if you swing in this way. Or choosing just to make the swing a little lighter and gentler and noticing what this is like. Just taking it moment by moment, experiencing this body in movement. When the mind is found wandered, acknowledging that and gently coming back. Just letting go into this swing. Perhaps move the head to each side along with the arms too, just to make the movement a little more full. The whole body engaged now. Noticing what this is like. And just allowing gently now the swing to come to a close. Coming back into stillness. If you like, closing the eyes and noticing any after effects of the movement. Maybe there's some tingling in some parts of the body. Maybe the heartbeat is a little quicker than it had been. and just coming to rest in this moment. So now we're going to move into some stretches. And so for this first stretch, bringing attention to the arms, noticing how it's possible to shift attention around into different parts of the body as we move, just like we practice in the body scan, only this time we're now moving the body rather than it being still. So bringing attention into the arms and slowly raising the arms up from our sides and noticing the experience of this. Maybe there's a little aching that comes up or warming up. If you'd like to pause while we're in the aeroplane wings position, you can just take a pause here. And now turning the palms upwards and continuing to raise the arms until the fingertips are pointing towards the sky. And if you want to, you can stretch the fingertips upwards somewhat, just playing with the edge of the stretch, not going beyond your limit, and noticing if there's any tendency inwardly to compete, to try to reach a standard or get to a particular place or posture, and seeing if that can be let go of. We're just playing with the moment. There's no comparison to try to get to. Just noticing how is it at the moment. And now turning the palms outwards and slowly allowing them to drop back. Can we be tuned in to the subtle changes from moment to moment, perhaps in the bicep muscles or the tricep muscles? Can we hear the body like we were hearing sounds? And letting the hands come back to drop by the sides, just noticing the experience at the end of this stretch. And now again, opening up the arms, maybe just a little quicker this time, noticing how this is this time. Continuing past the aeroplane wing position, raising the palms upwards and bringing the palms to face one another. And if you want to, stretching up, just having a play, leaning into the edge of possibility, but not going beyond, listening to the feedback from the body. Allowing the breath to happen, to breathe itself. Turning the palms and slowly coming back down. Remembering that at any time, at any point during any posture, you can choose to let go, come back, drop what you're doing on the basis of what your body's telling you. So we're in communication with the body moment by moment. And so one more time, raising up. And now inviting you to turn with the hips over to the right hand side. So just turning the body so you come to look out to your right. It's 90 degrees if that's workable, but only going as far as is okay for your body at the moment. Noticing where in the body this is felt. If there are any sensations of discomfort, you might like to practice breathing with these, as if you're breathing into them, allowing them and breathing out from them. Unless this is a sharp sensation. Sharp sensations are usually a sign that the body has gone further than it would be helpful to, so you can come back to the central position. But if it's an ache or a sensation of warmth, perhaps, just breathing with it. noticing the changes in experience from moment to moment. And now slowly coming back to the central position, noticing if the arms perhaps are beginning to ache, we can breathe with these too, and continuing round to the other side. So looking out now to the left. Maybe there are other places in the body now that are signaling to you, just to allow them to speak to you. Maybe there's places of stretch in some of the muscles, maybe in the back, the feet or the legs. Just allowing the breath to hold the experience. And slowly now coming back to center. And turning the palms outwards. And if you haven't already, allowing them to come down, back down to your sides. And noticing what's the experience at the end of this set of movements. Places that feel more stretched, maybe, or warmer. Places in the body that are alive now. Some places where maybe nothing is being felt. And so now we'll move into what's sometimes known as the picking fruit movement. And for this, bringing out the right hand out to the right hand side. I'll be mirrored, so it will look like I'm doing it with the left. Feel free to mirror me if you prefer. And reaching out as if there's a piece of fruit just out of reach on a tree over to the right. And as if you're just stretching up towards that piece of fruit, but not making it a project that you have to get it. You're just reaching out towards it, playing, experimenting. You might find that the ball of the left foot comes off the ground to extend the movement, and through the body, noticing what's coming up. Staying here, noticing any urges or impulses and seeing if it's possible just to notice them without having to react. And slowly lowering now the right arm, coming down. Can you be with the full experience of the coming down of the right arm? Not having to do anything but resting with this experience as it unfolds moment by moment. And the attention now moving over to the left arm and reaching up towards the imaginary tree over to this side, piece of fruit just out of reach. And extending the fingers, just playing with the stretch, leaning into the edge but not leaning past the edge. Seeing what's possible and listening to the feedback from the body that it's giving you now. And maybe with an out breath, allowing the arm to come back. Now let's come to roll the shoulders. So can make this a 4-step process. The shoulders rising up towards the ears, rolling back, and down, coming round to the front and rising up. So up, back, down, to the front. And you can play with this. You can make this a larger roll or a smaller roll. Maybe some of us might have some shoulder pains. We might want to go more gently. Some of us might have some stiffness that it might actually, that it feels good to extend and roll and to make the stretch a little bigger. So listening to the feedback from your body as it is at this moment. If you want to close your eyes, you can, but you don't have to. And you can synchronize with the breath sensations in this too, if you want to. So breathing in and rising, breathing out, the shoulders dropping. Luxuriating in this experience of being a body. It's amazing. We can be in this body, that we can have the consciousness to experience it, and by the volition of the mind to actually move this body. So whatever state it's in, whether it's in pain or pleasure, something remarkable happening just by the very dint of our being here and practicing this. Can we be present to it, including the pleasure or the pain or the nothingness of our bodies as they are at the moment is okay. You might want to just shift and change direction with the rolling, come back the other way and see what this is like. The only task to practice being present and to come back to presence when we notice. And importantly, coming back with friendliness. So we're offering our bodies some gentleness here. So sometimes when we exercise, there's a kind of a striving that comes in. We're trying to get fit, or we're trying to, walk or run a certain distance. Here, not needing that, just playing moment by moment. All we are is now. So there's no future to strive for or target to get to. There's just this. We're in being mode. Noticing how this is. And just allowing the shoulders to drop once again, let gravity do its job. Now, inviting you to place your hands on your hips. And we're going to make a crescent moon shape with our bodies. And we can do this by keeping the feet flat on the ground and extending the hip out to the right. So if you extend the right hip out to the right and just let the left hip go with it, and leaning over with the head over to the left-hand side, so as if we're making a crescent moon shape, but not creating an image that you have to replicate, but just following the body's feeling tones. And when the body says that's far enough, then that's far enough. So you don't have to replicate what you see in your mind, or indeed what you see is happening with me or anyone else. Maybe just playing with it. How does the body feel if you extend a little further? Maybe there's a little bit of a wobble, or just working with the wobbles, staying present. And now slowly raising the head back up, noticing any after effects, and continuing to the other side. So this time the left hip coming out to the left side and the head extending over to the right and gently coming down. And you're just playing with it, extending, listening to the feedback. So taking it very gently and being curious and experimental. Oh, what happens if my body does this? And adapting as needed for your body's needs. And slowly coming back up. Keeping the hands on the hips. Just taking a pause now. Just notice maybe the experience of the whole body standing here. And let's hula hoop the body. So as if you have a hula hoop around the waist. So now the middle of the body coming in center stage here, and seeing if we can just notice the experience of the hips and the waist moving. If you want to, you can bring the upper body into the movement too, by coming forward as the bottom sticks out and opening up the chest, bringing the head in tune with this movement, head circling, coming back as the pelvis tilts forward. Noticing the experience from moment to moment, the changes. Every moment unique. And if you prefer to, just keeping it gentle. So you don't have to meet any criteria here. So you can make it gentle if needed. Maybe going around the other way. What's the actual experience now? Is your mind in your body, or has it wandered into a judgment, or has it wandered into a future space or idea, or back into the past? And if that's happened, that's okay. You've noticed it. Now coming back to the experience of the body moving. We're not trying to get anywhere with this. We are already here indeed. And just letting the hands now come down by your sides. Again, just maybe grounding, just feeling the feet on the ground. The breath is here as an anchor too, so at any time we can come back to the sensations of the breath to anchor to. And so now let's play with a movement for the legs. We'll bring the upper body into it too. So beginning by bringing the arms out to the sides, into the aeroplane wings position once again. And if you will, and if the body says it's okay, and just bringing the right foot off the ground and bringing the right foot out, and just playing with pointing the right foot out to the right hand side, keeping the left foot standing. It may be that your body doesn't want to do this, in which case you just make it a small movement. So just having a play again with what's workable for you. There's no better movement to make. It's simply the spirit of our experimentation that you can make. Maybe there'll be a wobble and you come back down to the ground. Just breathing with the experience. Breathing into and out from your body in this posture. And coming back into what's sometimes called mountain posture. Pausing, awareness of after effects in the legs and the arms. And if you will, opening up the arms once again, being present to this shift, and the left leg, if it wants to, coming off the ground, just playing with it, maybe just a little way, or maybe further. Maybe your body goes further than mine does. That's okay if it's okay for you. Just having a play. Breathing. Noticing how the body recalibrates itself with the wobbles. And with an out breath coming back. And so now, at the end of this series of movements, just allowing, maybe with an out breath, just coming back to the whole body. If you want to, closing the eyes once more. And just coming to stand, coming to be in standing. Touching into the sensations in this body as they are now. Maybe you can feel the heart beating or the blood flowing. If so, what are the actual sensations of these beneath the labels? The boom boom, or the rustle of movement in the veins. Whatever's true for you. Awareness of whatever's coming up. There's no right or wrong thing to come up, just as there's no right or wrong thing to experience in the practice. It is as it is now, and can we bring friendliness to this moment that's already here? So it can't be changed in this moment. However, it can be related to with presence and friendliness by the power of attention. And now if you want to, you could just bring the hands up to the belly and just placing one hand over the other. And just feeling the movement of breathing. The belly expanding and contracting with the movement of the breath, and the whole body involved in this breath, the filling up and emptying of the lungs, the movement of the hands, the oxygenation of the body with blood flow, and just going with your body as it is, this remarkable organism. And as Jon Kabat-Zinn likes to say, if you're breathing, there's more right with you than wrong with you. Whatever's wrong with you, because you're alive. And that's remarkable, incredible. So tuning into this aliveness, whatever it is that's coming up. Anchoring, if you like, to the breathing. Perhaps in one place now, maybe the belly with the hands, the feeling of the hands moving with each breath, each part of each breath. And now letting the hands drop back down by the sides. And if your body wants to have a shake or a stretch in a particular way, see if you can listen to what your body would like. So maybe there's a part of the body that would like to be stretched, or maybe your mouth wants some water. So giving your body what it needs right now, as we freestyle the movement, if you like. Any stretches, changes of posture. Staying present, so staying aware of the changes of sensation from moment to moment. And whenever you're ready we could begin to reconvene in a sitting posture.